5 hours later.
That was only like 8 minutes or so. Let's go see another movie. Let's watch the action movie. Hinata said, affecting a slightly more enthusiastic tone than he could normally muster. Because holy crap, did he ever want to see an explosion right now? Ah, well, I've already voiced my opinion, so at the very least, I can distance myself from the decision. Komaeda gave a flat smile. Hey, if it's with you, it can't be that terrible. Okay, cool. Hinata tapped his button while making kind of an explosion or laser noise with, with his mouth to try to get Komaeda hyped for this. Computer. What if it was sick? Seemed like it would be sick. He is not excited about this. Komaeda's smile somehow flattened even further as he tapped the app, and the lights dimmed. The movie started instantly, and it was animated, kind of. The red sports car appeared to be driving straight towards a glass wall office building, and it was illustrated in bold colors and simplistic, chunky black lines. Around the building, a few drawn frames of bright orange fire flickered in a slow circle. The sound of the car engine starting low with the fade in, but had built to an agonizing screech that even made Hinata want to cover his ears. The single drawing of the car was being dragged across the screen over and over, and apparently to stimulate its increasing speed, while the drawing of the building in the background was enlarging, presumably as it got closer. The car crashed into the building. A creak of metal and shattering glass erupted from the speakers, playing over a realistic overlay of footage of an actual explosion that shook the foundation of the theater. Hinata could barely hear the sound Komaeda must have made beside him, but out of the corner of his eye, saw him startle so hard that the cup of Dr. Hopper in his lap experienced an explosion of his own, crushed between his thighs. Oh, okay. The lid rocketed off, and the slurpy amber liquids shot into the air, droplets gleaming in the dark. Time stood still with three things happening at once. The lights came back on. What? The movie came to an abrupt halt, and the image on the screen replaced with some kind of text. And a fizzy airborne drops plummeted back down, splattering all over Komaeda's jeans. Hinata sat beside him, slack-jawed, gripping the arm seats so hard his knuckles felt like they might split. The silence that settled like that was it. That was shorter than a horror one. Why was the okay, never mind. The silence that settled into the theater post explosion was almost louder than the explosion itself. Komaeda was staring in shock at his pants and the half full, now lidless cup of soda in between his legs. They both turned slowly to look at the screen, which was now just a projection of what appeared to be a film script. What the? Every few seconds, like a slide changing, it would flip to a new page, and the clip descriptions of each shot and shoddy lame down. Oh my goodness. Hinata let his eyes settle on it only long enough to see that there was a character named Blast Slambreak. Before his attention snapped back to Komaeda. So, that sucked? Komaeda's eyes were still wide when he finally looked back at Hinata and nodded. Sorry about your soda. Komaeda's head tipped to the side, expression unnervingly blank. Help him clean up the goodness. Sorry, phone vibrated. I should probably help. That was totally my fault, wasn't it? After you said you didn't like loud noises. Komaeda pinched the edge of the cup between his fingers, avoiding errant. Errant? errant? I don't know, droplets, and moved it carefully to the floor. His pants were really drenched. About half the quantity of it had landed in his lap, darkening his already dark jeans to a glistening pitch black. If you want to help, I won't object, but only because I'm so thoroughly filthy now that the sight of me is probably nauseating for you. Oh my gosh, it's not that bad, it's just soda. Komaeda shifted in his seat and was interrupted by his own full-body shudder and an audible ugh. That must feel really nasty. Hold on. I definitely grabbed some napkins. Hinata turned to his stash of candy and popcorn and found a wad of them. When he turned back, Komaeda already had his belt buckle unfastened and was mid-zip on the fly of his pants. Komaeda? Komaeda cast a look at him through his pale lashes. What is that? I'm sorry for the background noises that's gonna be happening throughout. It feels so disgusting I can't even move. I just need to let them dry. Before Hinata could get any closer without the napkins, Hinata had slipped out of his shoes and lifted his legs up, propping his toes on the back of the seat in front of him while he wriggled out of his jeans, grimacing at the insistent cling of the wet denim as it peeled away from his skin. When he had them bunched up around his ankles, he slipped both feet out of them with a surprising amount of grace and draped them over the back of the seat next to him, carefully spread out for maximum airflow. His boxers underneath remained remarkably dry, but below them his thighs sparkled. Hinata, determined to do something, reached toward his legs with a fistful of napkins, but Komaeda grabbed his wrist, looking scandalized. What's wrong? Hinata had touched Komaeda's legs lots of times, but Komaeda was usually in a better mood when he did so. It's sticky. Uh-huh. The cheap paper of the napkin will just stick to it and leave a residue along with the fibers of the napkin itself. Komaeda sounded like he was preemptively describing evidence he planned to present at a trial. Oh. Hinata stared at the useless clump of tissue in his hand. I could run out to the bathroom and get them wet first. You leave me alone like this, shivering in a cold theater on our date, Hinata-kun? Komaeda's tone had changed and Hinata didn't know how to process it exactly. Just for a second, to help you get clean? Komaeda tipped his head, eyes wide. Or maybe since it was your mistake in the first place, you should lick the mess up with your tongue? I ain't gonna lie, I was thinking about that. Komaeda laughed sharply and slapped the armrest, eyebrows upturned in maniac pity, toes curled against the fabric of the seat bag. You should have seen your face just now. He shuddered through some emotion that Hinata could not have placed with a gun to his hand before suddenly swinging one of his long legs across Hinata's lap. But you should look it up and then I'll forgive you. Hinata blinked at him a few times, but the expression on Komaeda's face may as well have been hieroglyphics. Was he serious? Right here in the theater? With the lights on? Hinata ran a finger on the bottom of Komaeda's boxers down to his knee, stuttering a bit over the rapidly drying, sugary coating that glazed his upper thigh, watching his face carefully while Komaeda appeared to be going through different stages of elation and shock. Hinata pressed that finger against the tip of his tongue and made a small show of considering the taste, as it was relevant at all to his next move. 55 flavors, huh? Komaeda laughed again. Hysterics sprang the edges of his voice as Hinata leaned down to drag his tongue across the small section of his thigh, just enough to leave it damp and cool. I'm debating whether or not I'm gonna make this a thumbnail. I'm not sure if I should, or if it's like a little bit too inappropriate. I don't know. He shivered as Hinata's gaze flicked up to his expectantly. The next thing Hinata felt was a hand in his hair, gripping hard and pushing his chin grounded to Kamaida's leg so hard that he wondered if he might leave a bruise. Amazing, Hinata-kun. Okay, he rasped. Hinata felt his tongue dart out again, as if responding to praise. This just took a really weird turn. The sweetness of soda and something else settling on his taste buds. He moved out of the seat entirely, staying low and crouched, squatting in front of Kamaida's seat between his legs, balanced on his toes to keep his own knees from touching the filthy floor. He wouldn't like that, would he? Holding the other boy in place, Hinata started his cleaning duty in earnest, licking thorough long trails across the top of Komaida's pale neck, catching the sticky remnants of soda on his way and swallowing obediently. Komaida writhed in his seat against the restraint, humming low, nearly inaudible sounds with each lick. Hinata's hands started to creep up, fingers slipping under the edge of the gray checked underwear, one making it up high enough to scrape nails over his sharp hip bone. He gathered the fabric under his fingers, hiking the boxers up, his mouth following to nip at the newly exposed skin briefly before Komaida grabbed his wrist. It's not dirty there, Hinata-kun. So maybe you should focus on the task at hand. He's being so demanding. This is very much different from the others. I'm kind of shook. Hinata blinked up at him, mid-lick, shocked. Who the hell was this Komaida? Exactly, who is this? And why was it making him so hard? I can't right now. Sliding his hands under the bend of Kamaida's knee, Hinata carefully maneuvered around his leg, licking it when necessary to look at the soft skin of his inner thigh, where a bit of Dr. Hopper had dribbled down between his legs. His hands swiped across the saliva-slick surface, while Komaida shivered, and when he didn't detect any remaining mist, he moved to the next leg. Komaida's fingers had loosened their grip on his hair and were now gently gliding through it. You're doing so well, just like I knew you could. What the heck? He rasped, almost a whisper. The praise slid into Hinata's ears and sent his hand wandering again. Hinata was woozy from arousal for reasons he did not care to think too deeply about, and didn't notice that his fingers had found their way into the slit of Komaida's boxers until he felt his hair being yanked. Ooh. Interesting that you think you deserve to touch me there, Hinata-kun. Oh my goodness! When you haven't even finished one simple task yet. Oh my gosh! Hinata only managed a soft exhale cool against Komaida's skin as his tongue lapped at a few remaining drips, edging dangerously close to the hem of his underwear again, but not daring to go any further than necessary. Yo, I kind of wish I was playing this with my boyfriend right now, because this would have been really funny. Komaida's other foot rested on Hinata's back, toes curling against his shirt. Once more, his hand trailed from his upper thigh down slow and hard to his knee to signal that the remnants of soda were gone. His fingers dug into the skin a little where they settled. I'm finished. Hinata lifted his gaze as he licked his chapped lips. Komaida released his grip entirely, allowing Hinata to finally lift his head. Good boy. Oh my goodness. He said, faltering on the second word as his expression contorted and his hand shot up over his mouth. He paused for an exquisitely long moment. Even though I was just what do you mean you were just joking? That was a very long joke, and you just let him keep doing it. What do you mean? His eyes widened as more nervous laughter spilled out of him, hips shifting in his seat, no longer able to hold still. Hinata was too hard for this. Incredible, you must really feel absolutely wretched after pretending to take orders from someone like me. That wasn't no pretending, man. That was not no pretending. Yeah, sure, wretched. Hinata felt his eyelids getting heavy with the weight of many, many things. He pushed himself to his feet ankles anchoring from the position, not caring if Komaeda saw that he was hard. He grabbed Komaeda's still damp pants and dropped them in his now clean lap. Get dressed. Let's get out of here. What about our date, Hinata-kun? Dang, I just... Okay. Okay. The movie isn't even finished being made, so why don't we continue the date somewhere else? Oh, you're gonna move somewhere else. Okay. If you're still wanting to spend time with me, I couldn't possibly refuse. The script still scrolling by on the screen, they managed to avoid knocking over the lidless Dr. Hopper cup as they made their way to the double doors and shoved them open. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Wow, I definitely thought this was supposed to be the bad end, but it looks like you two still had a good time. The bad end. So you are here. Could it be that you like bad ends? I don't recall asking for your opinion actually. I mean, since the movie wasn't finished, there's no way you should have had a fun time. I'm sure it was a huge disappointment, but turns out animating is pretty hard. We had a nice time, but I might lodge a complaint about the poorly mixed audio. Hinata grabbed Komaeda's hand before he could lodge anything and pulled him past Monokuma into the lobby. Don't you have some cleaning up to do? They almost made it outside before Komaeda agreed. You're right, Hinata-kun. My pants are still unbelievably sticky. Almost. Wait up! You worked so hard. Don't you want your prize? Hinata felt pretty confident that he actually didn't, but hurry up and give it to us already. Too bad. There's only one prize, so I'm giving it to the other guy because he definitely wanted it more than you. Oh. The other guys spoke up. I'll share it with you, Hinata-kun. No need. Hinata has one already. Monokuma waddled up and placed a small, round, flat object really in Komaeda's hand. Komaeda flipped it over. It was a sticker. Oh. You just got one for free, huh? Wait. Komaeda laughed and held it up. Oh my gosh, I'm with someone who was born stupid. Hinata-kun, we have matching stickers! We endured all that for this crap. I knew it. You made fun of me for my sticker, but now you're happy about it? Well, we earned this one together, didn't we? We can trade if you want. If we ever get off this island, I can even help you repay your tremendous sticker debt. Hinata grunted. Oh, that's cute. We'll get off this island someday. And then Komaeda and Hinata shook his head. The first thing was to get off this island. Then he could think about what comes after. Komaeda laughed beside him, and Hinata heard waves crash in the distance. Oh, this is cute. That's it? Wow, I can't believe it. That's it. Well, that's it for this. See, when I downloaded this game, I saw a picture and I ain't seen it yet. But I don't know. If you honestly, the link is in the description. If you want to see if you can see some more explicit things, then you can just play the game yourself. I don't know, because I didn't find it. But yeah, see ya.